Hi everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today I'm going to do a video, and we're gonna use this piece of wood that I got from the Dollar Tree. Why I bought a piece of wood from the Dollar Tree, I can't tell you, because my husband's got probably 100 of these, 100 of these kind of pieces of wood in his garage. But I was at the Dollar Tree and I saw them and an idea came and I bought it. I bought a couple of these little clothespins, and they are wooden, and they were regular wooden color when I purchased them. I did not bother to paint the insides of that. I just wasn't that worried about it because it's going to go on here. And I bought these love pieces. They're wooden also. It's 2 of them for $1.25, so I got 2 of those. These are some butterflies that I made this morning. My friend Cecilia sent me some beautiful images of butterflies, and I loved these because they're so simple. So I went ahead and I resined them. So I've got 4 little butterflies. And these are some stickers that I bought off of Amazon. Now I've had these stickers for a little bit, and I could not for the life of me figure out how you were supposed to use them, because you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, they have like a perforation around the image, and these are made to put behind a light switch, and then it just decorates the wall a little bit. Okay, great. Well, I thought, you know what? I can use them for almost anything that's square and just, you know, dress them up. So I thought, okay, I can do that. So I bought them. Well, when I got them, I couldn't figure out how to get them off of here, because as soon as you start to tear it back, it says remove carefully. Well, the paper came with it. Well, then I figured out as I went a little further, I can get that little corner of paper off, because it does begin to come off just as a sticker. Now these are removable stickers, you guys. They will come off of walls and things. So I'm hoping they're going to work on this, because I really didn't plan on resining this piece of wood at all. But I have to see how well these are going to stay on there before I make that complete decision. So what I want to do is I want to have these kind of go around this clothespin onto the piece of wood. Look how pretty. So I need to do this in a way that wherever it lands down here, I want the flowers to stay on the board, but I need to leave enough space up here for this. So I just want to make sure that I get it all worked out fine. I'm going to wipe down the piece of wood. I did paint this with my Rustolium Paint Plus Primer spray paint that I get at Home Depot. I'm told it's cheaper on Amazon, and I still have to check that because I still have a couple of cans left right now, so I haven't had to really look. I'm going to wipe it down with this little alcohol pad, just to make sure there's no dust on it, because it does say with these stickers, make sure you have a dust-free surface. So, and we all know that when we paint things, they can get that kind of dusty feeling. Plus, it had to dry outside, so that's cleaned off, and it should dry relatively quickly. So we'll be ready to put these stickers on. There we go. Still a little damp. So I'm going to let that dry for just a couple minutes, and I will get back to it. What I wanted to do is, I know that I've told you guys this before probably, but I was thinking about butterflies, and I've been thinking about butterflies a lot lately. And so back in my day, I worked in hospice, and in my role, I basically hired and trained all of the volunteer staff to be patient volunteers. So in that process. I would teach them, you know, what to do, what not to do, never to force their own beliefs on people, things like that. When you're dealing with families who are grieving and concerned about the loss, some of them are okay with prayer, some of them are not. You have to basically honor what they ask you to do. So in that, and then teaching them what they can give the patients, what they can't, you know, what kinds of duties they could do and what they couldn't. And they would visit patients at their homes or at skilled nursing facilities. And when they would go into the homes, a lot of times it was so that they could go in and allow the family to step away for a little while, because it can get a bit overwhelming to take care of a family member that is in the dying process. So it gives them a chance to step away, maybe go to dinner or lunch, or meet with a friend for coffee, whatever it might be. But I had to spend the time to teach them what they could and couldn't do, and couldn't say. And, you know, not to force themselves into situations that could be bad for both the family, them, and the agency. So anyway, I trained all the volunteers, but in my job, my role as the volunteer supervisor, I also I arranged what we would call our Wings of Hope event. And what that was all of the patients who had passed within the last 2 years, all of their families were invited to come to this event. We would do it at a park, and we had this beautiful park out in Redlands. Beautiful. It had gazebos and all these beautiful trees everywhere. And the last one that I did before before the agency did close down, we were the only nonprofit hospice in Southern California, and all of the for-profit hospices were pushing the nonprofits out, and we were kind of the last to go. But anyway, the last event that I did, I purchased, we called it Wings of Hope for a reason. It was about the butterfly and the dying process and grieving and all of that. And so I would order hundreds of frozen butterflies. And those frozen butterflies, once they thaw, they come to life. And each butterfly is enclosed in a little box. So you try to time it just right so that they will thaw just in time for all of the ceremonies to be over, and to give one to each of the attendees at the event, all of the family members, kids, grandparents, parents, whoever it might be, give them each a butterfly. And so we would go out from under the gazebo and into the trees, and we would do a little ceremony, and in that ceremony we would release all of those butterflies, and any extras we made sure we released all of those as well. But it was a beautiful event, and it was one that it tends to make people feel better about the whole dying process, because the symbolism of the butterfly, let me read this to you. A butterfly at a funeral symbolizes hope, renewal, and the spiritual transformation and journey of the soul from life to the afterlife. Their metamorphosis from a caterpillar to a graceful flying creature represents life, death, and resurrection, offering a message of comfort and peace to the grieving loved ones. Cultures worldwide view butterflies as messengers from the spirit world, or symbols of loved ones' spirit taking flight. And so when we would all release those butterflies, the best part of that process, or that part of the ceremony, was kids. because kids who had lost maybe their grandparents or an aunt or an uncle or something. Well, there was one little girl at the last one that I did, and her butterfly flew back at her and landed on her shoulder. And this little girl was just in awe because she felt like it was her grandmother that was sitting on her shoulder, and she was talking to it, and her family was talking to it and telling her, oh my goodness, that's Grammy telling you goodbye, and all of that. And then all of a sudden the butterfly whisked off and flew off into the trees. I cried, of course. Lots of people cried because it was very, very heartfelt feelings of what better thing could happen to a child who is saying goodbye to their grandmother, you know, for the last time, and getting the symbolism behind what we were doing. It was amazing. And I loved that event. It was beautiful every single time, and the families loved it. And it was just something that I enjoyed. And so that is really why I love butterflies so much, you guys. I know you guys have heard me say, you know, many, many times how much I do love butterflies and what they mean to me and all of that. And you've heard me tell this story before, probably, if you've been with me for a long time. But yeah, that's it. So here's the sticker. We've got this one piece of paper that decided to stick around, so we'll get that off of there. So this is the bottom piece, and if I touch the bottom, it's not going to peel anything off because it's not a decal. So that's the good thing. Now, my only worry is that, let's see, where do I want this to go? Probably right about there. And that's going to have to go over. This is not going to be easy, you guys, because I may get this completely off kilter, but I have a plan if that happens. Well, actually, these peel back up, so that shouldn't be a problem. But I don't want to peel it up too many times because I don't want to mess up the stickiness of the backing of this thing. So there. We got that one on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place our clothespin here, and I'm going to peel this other one off if I can. See, this one's doing the same thing, and there we got to the sticker part, so that makes it easy for me to get the rest of that paper up. There we go. So there we go. I'm going to throw this away. And this one's going to go this way. So what I want to do is kind of figure out how much space do I need here. Okay. I'm going to try and figure this out, you guys, and do it in a way that it's going to look nice. And this is going to be straight on here. That's not easy either. Okay, so let's see if we can get this going straight like that. I don't know how straight it is, but let's see. And I'm just going to put this on there just like that. And the only thing I've got is this one little bit right here where we've got that straight line, and I don't like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up if I can. It does not want to come back off. Yeah, it's supposed to be real easy to get these back off the wall, but yeah, I'm going to say probably not so much. There we go. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to try and round this out just a little bit right here so that the flower doesn't look square. Maybe kind of like that. Just that little tiny piece should help. We'll see. Yes, see, that looks good now. It looks fine. So I'm happy about that. And that's kind of what that's going to look like. Now this did kind of go over at this side. So I'm just going to cut this little piece off right here at the edge. And there we go. And I am not going to resin this. I know I said that already. I wasn't sure, but I don't think I need to resin this because it's stuck on there really well. I don't think it's going to peel off at all. It's on there really well. Okay, you guys. So let's just figure out exactly how we want this to sit on here. Just like that. And then this is going to go up here. Isn't that pretty? I thought that was kind of a cute idea. Maybe we'll push that up a little ways. I also was thinking, I have these little hearts. I bought these little canvas hearts. And I had considered actually putting one of these up at the top and then putting that over that. And that's really kind of pretty too. So, but if I do that, now here's my dilemma. I had some different trims out, and I was looking to possibly put this trim on the outside, which is just a basic trim. I love this trim, and I use it a lot. Or we could take our scalloped trim that I've been using and put some of that on the edge, and that looks really gorgeous. That really sets the whole thing off. It gives it a kind of a finished look, and I'm really thinking I'm going to go with that. I don't even think I have to look anymore. I also did get more of my other lace that I was considering maybe using a little piece or two of that on this, but for now we're not going to worry about that. We're going to take this end here, and I'm just going to cut that extra piece off. And I've got it, let's see, we want to put this on in the right direction, guys. This is the right direction, okay. So that will go to this piece. So next, to take this and cut it where I need it to go, right there. And I just want to get these cut and have them ready so that I can go ahead and put them on as soon as I'm ready to. So there's that one. So now let's see if we can make the next one match up. So I think what I'm going to do is cut it in the exact same spot that the other one is cut in. And I only had to cut a teeny little bit off, and then we'll just measure this next to the other piece and cut this one at the same spot. Okay, so we've got those two pieces. And then as far as the bottom pieces, what I need to do is I need to make sure that I have like a little bit that comes over so that these edges, let's see. When we put our edges together, this was what I realized about this lace before. You have to make sure that you get sort of a nice pretty edge. And actually, if I cut this, let me pop this one on. Let's get this off of here right now. So if I take this one here, let's see, trying to get this centered like I did the other one. And if that just hangs off just a little bit, I can glue that on right there and glue that on right there. So I'm going to cut this right here, and I hope I'm in the right spot. And I'm going to cut this one, same spot on this side. And then we're going to do another one in the same spots. So this one will go right here. And we will cut it right right at that one. So we'll go to the flower and we'll cut that off there. Okay, so there's our short pieces, and we've got our 2 long pieces. I can't tell you the measurements, you guys, because anybody that's going to do something similar to this, go to your husband's garage, find a piece of wood, or go to the Dollar Tree and find one of these little pieces of wood. This one is, let's see, this is actually 10 3/4 inches tall by 5.5 inches wide. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but you can, whatever piece of wood you've got, you can just measure your laces to fit. So what I'm going to do is, before I mess with any of this other stuff, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put this lace on. So let's get on that first. I'm just going to start by going a little ways down. And I want to make sure that I'm pulling it just to the right, to the right tightness. So if I do this all in one sweep, it's going to work better because I'm going to know where I need to stop and just lay it down. And this piece, I didn't get any down here. Okay, so there we go. One side done. This is going to be fun, you guys, and I don't think this is a long project. I think this is going to be fairly quick to do. I got to get the right side. And that would be this side. So I'm going to start with just a little space right here. And make sure it comes off just at the right spot. And I got it all twisted, so you have to lay it down quickly though, you guys, because this is wood and that glue dries fast. Okay, so there's that. Very pretty, looks good. Now let's get these end pieces on. Let's do the top first. Let me get it on the right side. That would be this side. And this one's gonna go this way. Okay. So let me lay this right here and see exactly how I want to glue it on. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this rose right there. just like that. And I want this rose to end up right there as well. And I have a little bit of movement here, so I'm going to pull it just a little bit more. Yeah, I should have taken that rose all the way up to the end. Just like that. And then there's one little rose on this one. I don't know why I didn't cut it off. It's not on the other side. There we go. All right, so there's that one. And that. Let's see. Cut this one off. And I'm going to cut this one off. That's where I got a little bit off there. There we go. And we're going to pop that right there. And now we have nice corners on this. You want to have nice corners. It's always important to me when I'm doing something like this is to have the corners meet up in such a way that it looks like almost one cohesive piece. Okay, so there we go. We got that all the way around. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, this is going to be pretty easy. I don't know. I'm debating on whether I want to go with the heart or not, because here's the thing. If I go with this heart, I really need to do something with it. I had this one that I started, but it's in pinks. Well, it's got some purple in it, and that would actually work. But then I'm going to put this over it. I don't know, that kind of looks pretty, but I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like that's just adding something that, and I want to make some ornaments and stuff with those anyway. So I think we're doing enough to put the love sign and this, and of course this will hold your notes, and this will be a wall hanging, you guys, just so you know. So, and I didn't paint the love sign. I just didn't. I wanted to keep it white other than the purple flowers and the purple and the butterflies. So that's, you guys know me. That's what I do. And maybe what I could do is I could take, and again, it's just more white. I could take and, you know, put a little piece of lace behind it and kind of have that stretch out a little bit. And that actually does look really pretty. So I think I'm going to do that. We're going to put a piece of lace behind the love word. And then maybe I'm going to cut this one right here. Let's see. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this little piece, this end piece off. And then I need to take my torch. So that's still good to use on something else. And I need to take my torch. And I'm going to go along. I'm going to try and trim some of this out first. I should have just trimmed some of this to begin with, just in case I used it. And I didn't. Because I really didn't know what I would use it for or how I would use it. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to very gently go along the outside. Oh, you guys, I had the saddest thing happen this morning, and it's really bothering me. I mean, it really is bothering me so much. And I won't tell you the whole story, but I was in here getting ready to start my video, and Jeff came running in the craft room, and he said, "You stay in the house." And I was like, "What?" So of course, I don't stay in my craft room. I run out to the living room to see what's going on. And of course, you know, he's the man of the house. He's ready to go. And so he very quickly opened the front door and the locking screen door. We've got one of those metal security screens. You just got to have them here in California. You just, things are so bad, you guys. And so now, with the way things are, you know, you get your general homeless guy that just kind of shows up, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to treat him, because I have literally watched these people go off on customers in the store, you know, when I'm working. So we've seen people get beat up by these people, and it's a scary, scary thing. The majority of them are not there to hurt anybody. I'm going to tell you that right now. They just aren't. They just don't know what to do, and they don't know, you know, they have nothing in life, and they don't know how to be. And they sometimes they just want a little something to make them feel better, and sometimes that's just a little bath. And so anyway, so Jeff went out, scared the poor guy to death, and you know, he was around the side of the house where we have a spigot, you know, with water, and he told him he needed to leave, and the guy was down to his underwear. And this isn't the first time this has happened, you guys. It's a common occurrence. And so he told the guy to leave. And you know what, you guys? The guy just, he was kind of bowing his head and saying he was sorry and all this stuff. And I am heartbroken. I am absolutely 100% heartbroken for this man who all he wanted to do was take a bath. You know, he just wanted to get clean. And you could tell he was already clean pretty much compared to most of them, you know, but he wanted to be clean, and that was, you know, his way of getting clean and moving on, I guess. And it just hurts my heart to see these people having to live like that. You know, part of me is thinking, I don't know if I want to use this behind here, because I just don't know if it offers anything. And I'm looking down here, I'm thinking, oh, that might be pretty down at the bottom with just a piece of that lace kind of covering up that little bottom section. I'm not going to put it behind the love sign. I just decided. Anyway, you guys, it broke my heart. It hurt my heart. And I just, now it makes me feel like I need to do something. I need to, I prayed, and I prayed some more for this guy. And it hurt me that I couldn't help him. I mean, had I had my druthers about me and all of that, you know, the problem is that if you do much, they'll be back, and they'll be back again and again and again, and then you have them constantly at your front door, you know, wanting this, that, or the other, because they see that you have a weakness. And that's not always good either. So it's hard to know exactly what to do, you guys. And it just, so pray for the homeless guy that was here at my house today, you guys, that he finds peace and safety in his travels, because he needs it. maybe what I'll do is I'll put a little piece of this at the top half of this clothespin. That would be nice. Okay, so I am going to take some B7000 and I'm going to put some on the back side of this clothespin. I probably should have done it on the love sign too, but I think the love sign's going to be fine. And I'm going to pop the lid back on this. So I don't know how many of you have to deal with things like that where you live. California, it's just incredibly rampant and sad. And most of them are on drugs. You know, most of them have drug habits that they want to, you know, fulfill. It's just sad. Just so sad. And I wish it wasn't happening in this world. I really do. I really wish that all of this stuff would just go away. But these days it's not safe to live in your own house without a certain amount of protection anymore. You've got to have protection. Oh, this is going to be hard to get out of here. Gosh. There's a couple of glue strings over here that I'm trying to get out of here. Okay. Just use a piece of glue. And then if I put one of these, I want to go on here. That looks really pretty with that lace. And then maybe what I could do, oh, I already stuck it to it. Whoopsies. I was going to say I could put a piece of this lace kind of somewhere like underneath this, coming off the side. That would have been a good idea, but I did get a couple of burn spots on that. I might put that piece of lace right there because that's where the two things kind of separate. And I kind of don't like the way that looks right there. So I think I'm going to put this piece right here. And then maybe I'll put maybe a little butterfly there. And then maybe a big one there and a little one there. Nope, I don't see that as looking good. Maybe two right there. And that looks better to me anyway. I mean, I could just keep the butterflies down here and maybe just put one up here on the love sign. Or maybe put the big ones down there and leave the two little ones on there. Or we could just put one there and put two little ones kind of flying over there. Oh, you guys, I'm having a hard time. I don't want to put one down on the bottom of that for sure. I feel like I want to put another piece of lace over there, but I feel like that one is not big enough. So we're going to cut another little piece off here. Okay, and that one looks beautiful coming right out there. I like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's glue this one on, just like that. Gorgeous. And we'll put this one right here. And I'm just going to use hot glue. And these are just single butterflies, you guys. I did not put fronts and backs on them. I just kind of didn't feel like they needed it. Maybe like that. Oh my gosh, the glue keeps sticking. The glue strings. That looks pretty. And maybe just one butterfly somewhere on the love sign. I feel like it only needs one. Yeah, I think that's basically what I'm going to do. I just hope I choose the right spot for this little butterfly right here. I feel like I need one going off to that right side there. So and these butterflies are not super thick either. They're they're kind of pliable a little bit because I didn't make them really thick. I didn't put a bunch of layers of resin on them. Okay, so that's going right there. Okay, and now let's get this one on there. I really wanted to knock this one out of the park, you guys. I just think it's so beautiful. I could put a little bit of that there and maybe just go ahead and put two small ones there. That little piece of lace looks really pretty just behind this little butterfly. It looks nice there. Kind of gives it a little finishing touch. And then this one here. So we're going to go ahead and put this big butterfly right there. And we'll glue this piece down because I like it there. And then our little butterfly right there. We want to turn it a little bit there. There we go. Look at that. It is so cute, you guys. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Okay, and then we're going to take this lace and we're going to create our hanger. So I'm just going to put glue right there so I can cut this and it doesn't fray. And I don't want it to be too long, just a fairly short hanger. And it'll go like that, so I think I'll put a little glue right here. And snip that off. Oh, you know what? Haha, I almost forgot. I do have... Do I only have one purple one left? I think I do. But I thought I had some white flowers in here too. No pink. No pink. I've got this one. That might be pretty just kind of on here somewhere. I don't want to put anything right here at the very bottom because it's that's where you're going to hang notes and stuff. So this is a pretty big rose here. I don't know. I think, you know what? I think I might put one teeny tiny little purple rose right there. And that's it. Only one. I could add a little white foam rose with it. Yeah, that looks pretty. And that way it keeps the purple and white theme alive there. There we go. Okay, love it. So now we need to pop this over. And actually, I'm going to put a little B7000 right there. And right there. And this is not going to be a heavy sign, you guys. It's not going to be heavy at all. So I'm going to use the B7000 and I'm going to use a bit of hot glue and press that down. And we'll do the same on the other side. I want this to go that way. Just like that. And I'm just gonna streak that hot glue right across the back of that. Just like that. Okay, you guys. This is really hard for me to show you guys the whole thing, but there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? It is absolutely stunning. Let me grab one of my little cards, if I've got one handy here. Where did I put those? Here, I'll just put this on there. I don't have my cards right with me, but just press that, and there you go. You got your place to put your notes or anything you want. And there I went and put those roses right there where you gotta push that thing to put your notes on. But that's the way it works, you guys. I gotta always do something that's not gonna be quite perfect, but there's usually a lot of those things, I should say. But anyway, that's it, you guys. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you will try it yourself. Get on over to Dollar Tree and make something for under $4 to make this whole thing. Shoot, that's a steal. And what a great gift. Who wouldn't love this to hang on the wall so that they could put their little notes up on the daily, especially in this case, someone who loves purple. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And I will get some really good pictures of it hanging on the wall so that you guys can really get a visual of what it looks like, you know, finished and actually on the wall. I'm just trying to get a little bit of that mesh off of there. Okay. So anyways, thanks a lot, you guys. God bless each and every one of you. And please, if you're not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe to my channel. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified when I do future videos. I look forward to having some new subscribers come on board, and hope you guys will enjoy the channel. Thanks so much. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be well. Be kind. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And stay tuned for pictures on the back end. Love ya. Bye.